My name is Matthew D. Graffenried. I love to hunt and fish and am fascinated with people using animals to hunt with, like falcons, hawks, eagles, cormorants, and ferrets. In January 2018, I discovered the sport of hunting with mink. After reading the book, The New Sport of Minkenry, by Joseph Carter, I learned he lived just 30 minutes away. I contacted Joseph and fell in love with these curious, smart hunters. My first mink is Yeager, a kit born in April 2018. She is so smart and amazing. So come along and join me as I train Yeager and take her on hunting excursions. So this morning I'm training Yeager before I go to work. And one of the things I've noticed over the last week is that she has not been doing her training very well. And I suspect it's because she got a little bit overweight, was putting a little bit too much fat stores on her, which means she wasn't interested in eating. And so I've been dropping her weight some by just feeding her a reduced diet or not feeding her on one of her AM or PM feedings. And so I've been doing that for about the last 4 days. She's still very prey driven, and so when we took her on hunts she did really well and she would cache, but I started doing some training before we went hunting, and she did pretty well a couple of times, and then she didn't want to do anything at all. I thought maybe it's because she wanted some live prey. So this morning she's down to a more working weight, and we're going to see how she does just in a quick training to demonstrate what happens when your mink gets fat and you want to take it out and take it hunting. And they may perform because they're prey driven, but they're not going to necessarily return when you call them, or they're not going to cache because they don't have any motivation or incentive to get something to eat because they got all those fat stores on their body and they're not really that hungry. So let's take a look and see how Yeager does. So here's Yeager. She's in her cache box and she's pretty anxious. I have a rat lure I'm going to take out, and then I've made this little, just up against my wall, I've taken this 2x10, an old beater, and I put it up against the wall, and I can put a lure behind there, and it simulates crawling under spaces and things like that when we go rat hunting. And so it's a good little test to see how she does. So the first thing I'm going to do, see how she does this morning. Okay, Yeager, here you go. I just turn the box this way. Oh, there's my other clicker. She's stuck. Okay, there we go. Now she's going the wrong direction. But let's see what she does. Let's see if she finds the trail and decides what she's going to do, or if she's going to play this morning. Okay, now she's going where she needs to go. Okay, let's watch that string. See what she does. She should find it very quickly because it's just part way in there. See if I can get a shot of her in there. So there sure as she's in there. Right now she doesn't seem to be interested in the rat. It took me several minutes of teasing Yeager before she finally decided she'd latch on to the lure and start retrieving it and taking it out to cache it. There, she's got it now. Good girl. Okay, we finally hit success. So we use the clicker to remind her that she gets a treat over here in her cache box. And put the lid on, keep her in there. Give her a treat. Here you go. Okay, see her little nose. She's asking for a treat. So that was good. That was a little bit hard. Took some motivation. I'm gonna give her quite a bit of her food through her hole this morning, because I want her to know that this is where the food is coming from. What's going on just at the conclusion of this training, I have her rest of her food to feed her up here, a little bit of food there, and Yeager's over here still hunting, which means that her prey drive is really high, but she's not interested right now in eating. She's interested in looking around. Now, I took her rat from her before she could see me, but still, she's not really interested. She's interested in hunting. Look how actively she's hunting, which is great. The prey drive is high, and I can correct the food drive because I control the food. But still, it's a little frustrating. Seems like the training was going really well as she was growing, but as she's reached her adulthood and stopped growing and she stopped molting, her food drive has gone down some. So prior to this morning, I'd been dropping her weight, and because she hadn't been caching, and it worked. She was a little bit stubborn about getting it. I had to tease her some, but in the end, she did it. Thanks for watching. Sometimes training these mink can be a real challenge and frustrating, and you have to know what kind of techniques. I learned everything I did from Joseph Carter in his book, The Sport of Minkery. He has a lot of great information in there. So if you're interested in mink or interested in training them, I recommend that book highly, because it has all this information in there, and it works really well. Thanks. Have a good day. So I had to just show you this morning when I was putting on her the cap on her cache box. She got me. I mean, just ever so slightly, but she still got me. That's why I generally wear gloves, but it's not too bad. It was just out of frustration, and so yep, got bit. Little nip.